Welcome back to my channel. This is Life with Toppa. Today we're going to be talking about life in the trenches, prison settings, things that happen in those type of settings. If you like this video, make sure you share, hit the like button, and make sure you follow the Toppa Non-Black Flag movement. The situation happened in DC jail where I was locked up in the hole, which is like a confinement for when you do something wrong. I actually catch a stabbing and I end up going to the chute, which is actually called a hole. So while I was in the hole, there was another dude. We was on 24-hour lockdown. The only time we actually comes out of this cell is when we're going to take a shower. That's about it. For the rest of the time, we do time in that cell, which is we do the whole 24. You could say, because when we come out the cell, that ain't long. Like half an hour, you got 15 minutes to take a shower, 15 minutes to do what you need to do to drive and get out of there. But anyway, there was this dude that was locked up in the same part as me, named Ray from Carolina. He was locked up for raping an old lady. And he was a strange individual, man. He done shit down a lot of individuals, pretty much. A lot of them, he done shit them down. They jump out there with him. As long as they pass his cell, he was shitting them down. So what he was doing was, he would get a bottle and he would basically put feces in the bottle along with piss and actually let it sit for days. And then he would use the same bottle to squirt and shit you down. Anytime you pack with the cells, they had bars where you could actually see through. So these was like the old bars from back in the days. And he was just basically putting that bottle through the bars, man, and they'll shit you down. Shit you straight, just squirt the bottle and the shit just splash all over your face. Man, dudes was trying to kill him all over this jail. He couldn't go to general population due to the fact of his charge, because he was charged with rape. And once dudes find that out, that's gonna be a whole nother situation. But he was just shitting down everybody, even police he was shitting down. So me and him got into it one day where he had the phone in front of his cell and I was trying to use the phone, and I was telling him, man, it was my time to get the phone and he wanna hold on to the phone. So me and him got into it. And the process of me getting into it with him, he was telling me he's gonna shit me down anytime I pass his cell. And I'm like, Ray, you ever in your life squirt any shit or piss on me, I'm gonna beat you to death in here. I'm telling you that right now. Don't make that shit happen. Don't make a mistake with me mixing me up with these dudes that you think you be playing with. I ain't nobody to be played with. I will break your goddamn neck. I'm gonna find a way to get up in that cell. Play with me if you want to. You throw any shit or piss on me, I'm coming up in that cell on you and I'm gonna murder you. At the time, I was in the chute for stabbing, actually attempt murder to be exact. I actually stabbed a dude up 8 times because he jumped out there and was acting with this tough guy business, and I had to put a knife in him. But anyway, which it was, the knife was an iceberg. So that situation happened between me and him had gotten to it over the phone. So, me and him had words. He talking about he gonna shit me down, blase, but it never happened. Because I told him, and I told him I mean this on everything I love. If you try that shit, I'm gonna kill you. So anyway, he never followed through with that. But when he did, he had a situation with the police where he shit the police down, and the police just run and scream and run up out of the pot. The lieutenant came, took his white shirt off, told him to fly the cell because he was going to go up in there and whip the nigga. When he went up in the cell with Ray didn't want no wreck. Because he was a coward. He was a coward basically behind a fence, which is like a prison bar. He was a coward. He doesn't know that anybody could get to him, so therefore he was going to shit anything down that passed the cell. But the funny thing about this whole story, me and him ended up in the same penitentiary when I left DC jail and went to the feds. We ended up in the same place. The first time I laid eyes on him, when I got to the feds, he run up to me, man. Flexx, how you doing, man? That little situation that you had while we was in the jail, we won't leave that in the jail. I don't want no problems. You know, he was copping the fifth, meaning that, you know, he putting up the white flag. He don't want no problems with me, which I was cool with because I ain't got time to be worrying about him because of the time I had 62 years. I ain't got time to be worrying about Ray Ray, especially if he ain't putting no piss of shit on me. I ain't got time to be worrying about him. So anyway, the next situation I ended up having with Ray Ray is when he was in the cell with a dude from BC, and the dude actually found out what he was locked up for. And you know, they was putting a soft press on him because you know what DC niggas, they like to extort niggas. They was extorting him neatly. So I guess him and the nigga got into it one day, the nigga put him out the cell. He ended up taking all this shit and put it in my homeboy. I said, while my homeboy was in the law library. So my homeboy came back at night and seen this dude in his cell. So he came to the child in the morning and told me about it. So I called Ray Ray over and I told him, man, listen to him, man. You just moved into this man's cell and you didn't even ask him. When you get back to that block, make sure you get everything that you got and own out of that man's cell. Because if not, we coming down there to come see you. Don't make that shit happen again. And get that shit out of there. So the whole thing is this: when you're in a federal pen, you don't just move into a man's cell and don't ask him. You don't do that. That's taboo. You don't do none of that. Because a dude could literally kill you in that cell. You can't just move in a person's cell and you didn't even ask him. He didn't ask him. I could see if he just came off the bus and he just coming to prison or he just coming from another prison. You know, yeah, we could understand that, and then tomorrow morning, wherever car you're in, they find you somewhere to go. Simple. But you already here, you moving in another man's cell without even asking him. And you and this man is not on the same time. You actually from Carolina, but you running with DC niggas because you caught your case in DC. Nah, you can't move in this cell. This is an island cell. We don't deal with rapists. So therefore, that's one strike against you. That right there is a breach of security. You can't be in that cell. So anyway, he ended up moving his stuff back out of the man's cell. But you know, this is just a little situation that I went through with this individual right here, man. And you know, that's some of the stuff that happened in the trenches. Dudes shitting dudes down with piss and shit. This is a horrible thing when the dude sprayed that in your face, man. I wouldn't want none of that stuff to happen to me because I don't know what I would have did if a dude do something like that to me. I'd really take it to the whole next level. But you know, it never happened to me, thank God. And that's what that situation right there, life in the trenches. If you like this story, make sure you share, subscribe, or hit the like button. Chop, chop, chop. You know what it is.